Does retiring affect your credit score? No, not directly. It does not. But I have 9 reasons for you why having a good credit score in retirement still matters. It can still matter a lot. Here's another point first, though. Retirement does not appear on your credit report. Just because you retire doesn't mean they're going to put a point against you on your credit report. That has nothing to do with it at all. But your debt to income ratio will likely increase with no income coming in. So if your ratio goes up, harder to have good credit, let's say. You won't have any income coming in, guys. Or if you do, not nearly as much as you did when you were working, right? So yes, retirement doesn't directly affect your credit, but having a higher debt to income ratio can. So here's those 9 reasons why you still need good credit in retirement. Number 1, good insurance rates. Some insurance companies use this to determine risk factors and premiums. Yeah, I've noticed that. I have noticed that in getting my home insurance. I luckily have good credit. I think it's still over 800. It's been over 800 for a couple years now. It can affect that. It can affect that. You might not think about it, but yes, it can affect that. So that's number 1 of 9. Number 2, what about if you're going to get a house? What about if you're going to downsize? And you might not be able to pay for that house from the proceeds of your first house, all of it. So you need to get a loan. What happened to me, as most of you know, and hey, for those of you seeing me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for retiring on moderate income. If you think you might like that, think about subscribing and like the video as well. And if you really like it, down below are 2 other ways to support this video, to support this channel and this video, I guess. So 6 months into retirement, as most of you know, I purchased this property. It's on a little over an acre. Beautiful, beautiful property. I had a hard time getting a loan at first. So why? Because I didn't have any income coming in. 2 things helped me secure that loan. Number 1, my credit score, which I believe at the time was like 811. And number 2, the assets I had in my retirement funds, in this case 401k and an IRA. They noticed that, hey, this guy can purchase this house outright if he wanted to. So those 2 factors allowed me to get a loan after one institution said no to me, 2 initially said no, but eventually they said yes. Number 3, home equity loans. Just because you're in retirement doesn't mean you might not need to tap into that equity once in a while, right? You never know. You never know, guys. That's the thing. Retirement, 30 years, 25 years, in some cases 40 years of your life. You may still need to tap into that home equity. Good credit will allow you to do that. Number 4, this is what we had to do with my mom after she had her stroke, a reverse mortgage. Luckily, my mom had good credit as well. We were able to get, forget about good rates, we were able to secure a reverse mortgage because of her good credit. Just because you're retired doesn't mean it's all going to stop, guys. Doesn't mean life stops, right? You need good credit. Number 5, what about money for emergencies? You know, if you have to put money on a credit card, and if you have good credit, your balances are probably pretty low, if not non-existent on those credit cards. So if you have good credit, you have room on your credit that you could access money for emergencies, right? So don't just say, I'm retiring, forget about credit, man. Oh yeah, I'm 60 days late on this bill. I'll get to it when I get it. That sounds like me at 26. No, don't do that. Number 6, what about a car loan? Now, most of you will probably say, well, I can just pay for my car in cash. Most of you, probably, if you have a decent amount in the bank. Some of you know, or there may be another reason you want to get a car loan instead of paying for it with cash. There are all kinds of reasons. So if you can do this, if you need to get a car loan, you need a good credit score. Number 7, what about new opportunities? There are countless people that start their second life in retirement. They might want to start a new business. They might want to start an expensive hobby that they need to purchase some equipment for in order to do that. Personal loan, right? If you don't have good credit, you might not be able to get that. Number 8, renting a house. A lot of you guys, I'm sure you don't all own houses, right? Sorry, as I have to say in all my videos, a little windy out here. It's always windy in the high desert. Some people may want to rent or need to rent. Landlords, they look at credit. They look at if your credit's at least decent, right? Don't let it go in retirement, guys. Keep that credit up. And number 9, let's say you have an expensive medical procedure you need to have done, or it could have been an emergency. Instead of having to pay all that up front, if your insurance doesn't cover all of it, you might want to space that out over time. So you swap it down on a credit card. That'll allow you to pay those medical emergencies over time. So it doesn't have to be one big lump sum, right? So how do you maintain high credit in retirement? Is it mysterious? Are there different ways to do it now since you're not working? Let's find out. I've got 5 ways to do that. Number 1, monitor your credit online. There are lots of ways that you can do that, guys. I mean, just the credit bureaus themselves allow you to do that. There are other websites where you can monitor your credit. Monitor it. You don't want, just because you're retired, you don't want to just let it go and say, if something happens, it happens. No, make sure there aren't any mistakes on there. Number 2, make all your payments on time. This goes without saying, right? As you'll see, some of these reasons, they apply whether you're retired or not, if you're still working. Make all your payments on time, guys, or at least over a couple months. If it's a big purchase, don't let it go longer than that, right? Number 3, maintain low credit card balances. Yeah, that's a big one. I know when I was young, I would let it go up and up and up. Paying the minimum. Why? Because I was stupid and young. Idiot. Pay those balances off in full if you can, every month. Number, what am I on? 3, 4? Number 4, avoid closing old or little used credit cards. It may be tempting, right? It's just sitting there. It's like, I haven't touched this thing, or I've used it twice in the last 2 years for small purchases. If you do that, you might think, right? I'm going to close this. It's not going to affect my credit. In fact, it'll probably make it better. No, it doesn't. It's the opposite of that. Credit bureaus do not like it when you close lines of credit. Even if you've had that card for 20 years and you hardly ever use it anymore. I've got one card like that. But I still put a couple things on it per month just to keep it flowing, right? Not a big balance at all, but I pay it off every month as I do with my normal credit card. So keep those open, even if you got 4 that you're not using anymore. Well, maybe not that, okay? 1 or 2. And number 5, and this is a huge, dare I say, huge thing to do. Along with monitoring your credit, look for suspicious activities. You kind of get lulled into a false sense of security if nothing has happened to you regarding this, right? Or maybe you had something happen, some fraud that occurred 10 years ago, and nothing's happened since. You know what, guys? It can still happen. I had one happen to me a couple years ago. I think it was for $1,500. I don't know how they got my credit card number. I didn't lose my card. I have no idea. But someone tried to charge a computer at Best Buy using my credit card number. I had no idea. Luckily, I was monitoring stuff. And in this case, the bank informed me as well, because that's another thing. Have those alerts. If, you can put the limit on it. If I make a purchase over $100 or $500, alert me. In this case, I had done that. They alerted me that a $1,500 credit was used at Best Buy. I hadn't been to Best Buy in probably 5-6 months. So automatically I called them up. No, that is not me. And you know what? Credit cards are good about that. Try doing that with a debit card. No, Not as easy as a credit card to have them just delete that false purchase, right? Credit cards, they're usually pretty good about that. In this case, took a day. By the next day, everything was off, everything was canceled. Wasn't my fault. So guys, there are some ways, and a lot of them are like, how it is when you're working, but those are ways to make sure that you have good credit, because definitely you will still need it. You may not need it every month, every year, but I can almost guarantee you're going to need your good credit at some time in your retirement. So make sure you maintain it just like you maintain everything else. Keep everything good and on the up and up, right? And as always, from the lovely high desert, we got this.